Hi, this is Christine from kitblogs.com, and I thought I would walk through how to add a product in ThriveCart. Now, I have the Pro version, so some of these, if you have the regular version of ThriveCart, you may not see a couple of these options. I like the JV partners up here, and I can't seem to remember what it's like in the other version, sorry. But I do have a Pro version, and I set myself up as my own client, so you guys, so I can hide some of my data and things like that for this video. But anyways, when you come in here, you'll go to your dashboard, which I'm not going to share because that's got some private information in there. But you can go into this top one, which is products. And then you can either add a new one, create a product, or you can go in here and edit. And as a client, I haven't given myself the rights apparently. So let's pretend we clicked on create a product. You'll go in here and you'll enter in the product name, which will automatically create the slug, and you can go in here and update it if you want. And then you can add a label, and this is really just something that you can use to search all your different products. So if you've got 100 different products and you can't remember the name of it, what are some keywords you can use to actually find that product? And then this section down here is actually where you're going to enter whether or not it's disabled, in test mode, or it's live. And live obviously means that it is accessible outside of just you. So you can either just keep clicking the next button after you fill all this out. If you save and get the URL, it's just going to save what's in here right now. So since we're gonna pretend that we don't have any information in here, we're going to do click next, and it'll take you to the next step. So next you'll be setting up your pricing, and this will be gone when you first come in here. And you'll just click add new pricing option. And then obviously you can click edit if it's already in there, and you can add your price. It can be a one-time fee, it can be a subscription, and you'll set that up for, like, see if we do that, how much a month, whether or not there's a trial period. So you can actually put, like, maybe there's a 7-day trial. And then you can select whether or not they get a recurring payment, or excuse me, an email about the recurring payment. And whether or not you have a limited availability, which is actually really great when you have physical products and you only have, say, 5 mugs that you're selling. Okay, so you have one-time payment, you have subscriptions, and then you have split pay, which kind of allows you to set up that you can do a one-time payment, which could be the $47, and then you can go back in here. So say we enter this one-time payment, and now we want to create a different one that's a split pay. So maybe instead of $47, they can pay $25 over 2 payments, and that's it. And then you can do next, and this is what will appear on the actual invoice when it appears. So you can change what this is called. You can call it a subscription, whatever you want, and then save it. So now you can see we have 2 different payment options. If you need to calculate sales tax, it can do that. This is the Pro version, so I know this is built in. I'm not sure if this is automatically in there in the base version, but I do not think it is. But you will have this section down here to customize the customer's invoice, and you can click it or you can leave it to the default. I like to update a little bit, so I would go in here. It can be a really basic one, or it can be a full invoice. I prefer the full invoice. This one's really simple. So that the full invoice, you can put a little message that appears at the top of the invoice, and then you can put your logo up here, and then basically what colors you want for the invoice. And unfortunately, they don't let you choose your own, like, RGB values or anything like that for your brand. So try and choose one that's as close as possible to your brand. All right, and then we can preview it if we want. This is what it would look like with that orange color chosen for the brand color. And this is what your customer will actually receive. All right. So next, this is whether or not you want to have a bump offer. And the bump offer is something that appears on your invoice, or excuse me, your checkout page, where they can automatically click a button and add something to their cart. And this is up to you on whether or not you want to include this. You could do a bump offer and say it's either digital or physical. I've only dealt with digital products in ThriveCart, so I can't really speak to how it works with physical. But say it's the My Blog workbook, and maybe I'm doing it for $7. And then since they've updated this cart, you don't set that up in here, what that actually says. So we'll cover that when we actually get to the checkout section. So you'll click next after you enter your bump offer if you want to include one. And you kind of just have to remember what that is. And it's a little bit unfortunate, but just remember what your bump offer is and then click next. And this is how you can connect all your payment processors. And you can go in here and you can add whatever you've already linked in your settings. I personally have Stripe and I use PayPal as well. Like I can just go, yeah, go to Kitpologs. Okay. So those are my two payment processors that'll appear on checkout. And this is whether or not you want affiliates to promote your product. And so if you do, you can click this. And again, I do have the pro version, so I'm not sure how specific you can get with the affiliates on the base. What's the word for it? The base license, I guess is the right word. But you can come in here and set up your commissions, and it can say whether or not it's on all pricing options, if it's only on one-time payment, what if it's a percentage or if it's a fixed fee, and you can enter all that information in here. You can also select, since you said that you wanted to do a bump offer, do you want to also provide commission on the bump offer? And so maybe you don't want to give commission for the bump offer, only for the product itself, and maybe it's 25%. And whether or not you want to pay manually or after a delay instantly, I think instantly is only on the pro account. But you can probably do manually after a delay. I can't remember. I'm so sorry. And then how long after the commission is, how soon is the commission due to your affiliate? Okay, so you can save that. And then you want to choose your affiliate options down here as well. So you'll set up the options. You can, this is when people actually get approved for being an affiliate for this product. You can auto approve, which means they can fill out the form and automatically be an affiliate for your product or your service, whatever you're using this for. You can manually approve, which means you'll get an email that tells you whether or not when somebody actually tries to sign up to be an affiliate, and then you have to go in and approve them. You can also disable signups. So say you have an affiliate application that you have on a link to on your site, you can disable it to say, I'm not accepting applications at this time. Okay. Now, so this is whether or not, who is going to get credit for this. So say someone clicks on your affiliate link, and I'm sorry if you know all of this, but the last cookie means the very last link that came to your site that has the cookie. So when somebody clicks on an affiliate link, it goes to your site and logs a cookie to say they're coming in through an affiliate link. That's how the system knows that they're an affiliate. So you can click on the last cookie or the first cookie. So it's either the very first link they clicked on to go see your product or service, or is it the very last person that they clicked on? And I always do last cookie. It's kind of an industry norm. So you just pick whatever you want. And then the cookie expiry is how long are you going to hold on to that cookie? I usually do 30 days. You can choose 7 days. You can choose lifetime. It just means it's going to store that cookie and accredit that sale to your affiliate no matter when they actually make the purchase. Or you can set a limit. All right, so this is yeah, so this is, are you going to require people to add their PayPal account in order to get paid? I say yes. I don't like, that's how I pay my affiliates, is always through PayPal. So if you're paying some other means, that you would select this. And then your affiliate link target URL. So this is going to be the link to your actual product or service where this is actually going to be purchased. You can link to the sales page where the button lives or the form lives. It's just going to log a cookie on your site. So say mine's, and so this is the link they're going to add the affiliate code to the end of. Oh boy, Christine, kitblogs.com product. I'm just making something up. And you can add more than one URL. So if you want one that goes directly to checkout, or if you want one that goes to the sales page, you can add multiples for your affiliates to choose from. All right, so this is also, I believe, in the pro version, because there's an affiliate dashboard that comes with the pro version. So this is whether or not you want to hide the product in the affiliate dashboard. I don't know why you would. It doesn't affect the commission, whether or not you display it, but I honestly don't see why you would hide it. Maybe if you've stopped offering the product or service, you can allow them to set up a tracking code for their own uses. I don't have a problem with that. And allow affiliates to offer a bonus. This is also, again, this is pro, but I love this feature. This allows your affiliates to include a link that gets triggered after purchase to either do a digital download. Say they offered a free worksheet if you purchase through their affiliate link. They can set that up in ThriveCart to automatically send to them after something is purchased through their affiliate link. So it can take them to a landing page to sign up for something. It can actually do a download of a worksheet, whatever they decide to do. All right, so that's all set up. All right, so that's it for this affiliate area. So next we're going to go into a fulfillment. So this is going to be the support URL. This is usually your domain URL. And what should happen after purchase. So you can either just display an invoice, you can send them to a URL, or you can add I have a membership site, so this may not show up for you if you don't have a membership link to your ThriveCart. So send them to a URL. It could be a thank you page, it could be a sign up page, it could be for my services. I have intake forms sometimes after somebody signs up for one of my services so I can gather all the information I need to start work. So for most people, you probably display the total in invoice, but there are use cases where you'll actually send them to a URL. It's kind of up to you and how you want to run it. And this down here is only if you use Kunaki, and I have never used it before. All right, next we get into the actual checkout. So there's different ways that you can actually do this. There's different carts. So first off, we're with the new cart, which I highly prefer. The legacy carts I find kind of ugly, but you can swap back and forth between what it used to look like and the new carts. For the sake of brevity, let's just choose the new cart. So you can choose the standard, the sales cart, which you just go through every single one of these, and embeddable. So this means you can embed it right on a page, or a pop-up, which means you'll have either a link or a button that you put on a page and it'll pop up the checkout page when they're on your site. I personally usually go with sales cart. I just find it a lot better. I used to use a lot of pop-ups, but I personally just don't like pop-ups. And honestly, the pop-ups can be a little troublesome on mobile. And with most people on mobile, I bet you probably receive at least 80% of your visitors on mobile. That's why I prefer the sales cart. All right. And I think you can localize it. You can change the language of your cart. I'm doing English because I speak English. All right, so now we get into the actual design of the cart. So now that you've selected which kind of cart it is, now we're going to go into actually making it. So you can copy a design from another product if you have already created some products. You can import a design, you can share your design. Really, the only thing you're going to need to do is just launch the editor unless you want to copy a design. All right, so we're going to launch the editor. This is what it looks like. Let it load up. Okay, so this is the basic cart. So over here you have a sidebar. So when you click on any of these little areas, it's going to change your sidebar over here so you can update them. And this is just a drag and drop thing. So you have all your elements over here on the right. So say you want to put a heading in or a subheading. Let's see, maybe we want to do an image. And maybe we'll put my logo at the very top. And then you can go over here and you can select what information you actually want to collect. So you can go into, let's see, maybe we want them to agree to terms and conditions. And then you'll go down here and put either a link or a copy and paste your terms down here in this little box. And I like so for GDPR compliance, that's the great thing about ThriveCart is they do provide GDPR compliance. You can do an opt-in checkbox for people to agree to join your email list. And you don't need this if you only send emails that are basically blog post updates. But if you include affiliate links or any sort of referral, any way that you're marketing your own products or trying to basically earn money from your emails, you need actual consent to send them emails, for these marketing emails. And that's to comply with both GDPR, which is for the EU, and CCPA, which is the new law as of March 2020 from California in the United States. So you can add a little bit of text here. So text here to say basically what your emails are about. You cannot change this text, which is unfortunate, but you do have to put the word marketing or promotions within that. So unfortunately, you can't modify it, but it is meeting the requirements. So if you click on this more button when you're actually in the live view, it'll bring up a pop-up showing whatever text you show here. All right, you can go up here and add, maybe you want the customer name, or maybe you want it to be first and last to be segmented out. Let's see, contact number, you can do address, you can add custom fields, and this is really a matter of just play around with it, whatever you want. This part right here is actually where your bump offer is. So one of my little pet peeves about ThriveCart is you have to manually recreate this unless you're copying a cart from another product like I showed you a minute ago. You have to manually recreate these for every single one of your carts. And if you don't have a lot of products, it's not that big of a deal. But you can change your colors. Say we want it to, I'm just going to randomly grab something, and you can change your toggle color. And maybe we want that to be blue, who knows. But you just go over here and you add text. So basically they can toggle this on and off. I think you can actually change it so it's not a toggle. I think you can change it into an actual button. A toggle or a checkbox. So it can be a checkbox as well. I just like the toggle. It's a little more fancy. So you'll see down here, this will show our 2 payment options. Okay, so sorry, you can add an image here. So say we want to add an image, I'll randomly grab, we'll do that one. So you put an image here, and then you can add all your text here about why people should opt in or toggle that on and get the next thing. So you'll see the My Blog workbook right here. That was what we filled out in the bump offer at $7, and it'll tally it down here. And if this is not turned on, this will not show up as something that they're purchasing. So this is where I was talking about the title of the product is what's going to actually appear in the cart. Okay, sorry, I'm skipping around here a little bit. All right, so here are the 2 payment options. They can either click one-time payment or split payment. And whether or not they'll get an invoice depends on how you set up the fulfillment process, or excuse me, the payment options. Okay, guarantee seals. I usually add guarantee seals. So you can just pull that over and you can select which one. So maybe you have a 30-day money back guarantee and you can add this down here. Maybe you just want to say that you're a trusted seller or a secure checkout. Maybe let's do secure checkout. And you can put it wherever, like you can drag it around. There are limits. I mean, you can't put it anywhere, but anyways, I like putting in, oh, you know what I forgot to do? So, aha. So I apologize. I'm going to back up just a minute. So when you first come in here, this right now is going to default to a 2-step checkout. So it's a landing page, but it has a 2-step checkout. So it has this page, and then on the next one, here, I'll just go over there. It has the actual payment process. Now, if you want to do this all in one screen, you need to just come right over here where the cart flow. There's multi-step or there's single step. And I actually prefer single step because then it's just less clicks. It's better for user experience. So they would just scroll down and it's just like that, and then they would enter their payment information. And again, you can go into any of these and change your colors, things like that. You can change the text size. And then when you click next on here, it'll take you to the success message. So this will be after they actually purchase it, what is going to display. And the download PDF is going to be your fulfillment URL. So whatever you entered in as your fulfillment, that's where that's going to take them. All right. You can hide the logo. You can just play around with this. There's a bunch of different things you can do. It's basically the same exact thing when you're doing a pop-up or something like that. Just play around with the settings and go from there. Okay, so we have a checkout. It's not pretty because I haven't made it consistent. But you can just play around. You can add videos to your carts. You can add dividers, bullet points, all sorts of stuff. You can add custom HTML if that's your jam. You've got some columns. You can actually do some styling in here a little bit. Just keep it simple and move on. Oh, you know what? I forgot to tell you. So this is what it's going to look like on desktop. And there's this little tiny buttons up here. And you can click on mobile and it'll show you what it's going to look like on mobile, which is really great. All right. You can't edit in this mode, but you can at least preview your changes. All right. So we'll call next. And maybe we wanted to put our image up here. And maybe we wanted it to be our logo again. And then you can change the size of the logo. You can do different alignments. Anyways, done. We have a cart page. Okay. After that, you click next again. And you can do this is where you're going to integrate any tracking. So if you have a Facebook pixel, you can click on here and enter your pixel ID. If you have Google Analytics, which I hope you do, grab the property ID, and you can click on these links and it'll tell you exactly how you to do that. Custom tracking codes, you can just enter them in here and then click next. And then there's behaviors. So if you've integrated, say, your email service provider, your ESP, I personally use MailerLite and it does integrate with this. The only problem I have with it is, personally, I avoid Zapier like the plague. I don't need another service that I want to pay for every single month. And I've heard a lot of people having problems with Zapier. So right now, let's just go through this. So when the main product is purchased, there's a bunch of different things here that you can choose. You can add them to all sorts of stuff. So the main thing you can do, main product is purchased from any of the pricing options. You can trigger something, or I see I've integrated my MailerLite, and I want to put them on a list. So I want to put them on kit logs. Unfortunately, although it is GDPR compliant in your checkout that you're getting approval to send people marketing emails, unfortunately, when you go to the behavior rules to actually connect to your ESP, it doesn't look for that check mark. What? So at this point, these people are automatically going to be added to your list without having verified that, which you may be okay with. I prefer to be compliant, and I'm very careful legally. One thing you can do is, if possible, you can segment out EU people from going through this flow, this rule. But I have personally just not done anything with this, and I just manually do this once a week, add them to my email list when they've actually agreed to do the marketing terms. So it's a personal choice. It's a feature that I've asked ThriveCart to integrate. I don't know that it's in their pipeline, but to be compliant, it's not the best integration. Okay, there's different things that you can do. So many rules. I'm not going to go through any of these. You can cancel things. You can move them to a different cart. You can so say, yeah, you have your credit card's about to expire and you're signing up for a subscription. What happens? Anyways, play around with the rules, add them in. I'm gonna remove that because I don't want to go in there. Add your rules, play around with what you want to actually happen following purchase. Okay, so that's it. We're gonna save and get the URL. And since this is a landing page, it's gonna come up with a URL, not code, that you actually put in your website. So I can show you that in just a second. So I have set up a subdomain on my own blog that this links to so that it looks like it's from my blog. And you can do that through your settings. So if we go back to here, let's just edit the product again. So that's how you get the URL. Now, if you actually go over to checkout and change the type, so say we want a pop-up form, let's go save and get URL. Now, instead of you having a URL, you're going to get code to put in your website. And this is so you can either put a button or an image. This is an image of a button, but you can use their built-in buttons. They're just not very pretty. And thankfully, they did add in that you can use a custom color on your button. So you can make it match your brand. But all you do is just copy this and paste it in an HTML block or in your page editor, page builder, whatever you use. And once that it happens, then that button's going to be there. Once they click on it, it'll open up their cart. So I don't have any pop-ups, or I would show you. Okay. Anyways, that's how you create a product. You can easily go back in and edit anything. Just make sure you save when you're done. Save and get URL. You can change your fulfillment. So I think that's it. That's it. So feel free to ask me any questions about creating products. I do this all the time. I personally use, oh, and yes, of course, there's a whole other step where you can create sales funnels as well. So following the purchase of this, whether or not they bought the bump offer and the product, you can also put them in a funnel. So sure, let's go through that really quick. So after you're all done, you've got your cart all ready to go, you can click on create customize sales funnel. You can do that at the bottom here, or when you're in your product view, you can click on create funnel. And once you have a funnel, this will turn into edit funnel. All right, so wait, let's back up. So before you do that, you need to actually create some upsells and downsells for your funnels. It's pretty simple, but you can just say, my upsell is the My Blog Workbook, and then you enter in a label, whatever's searchable. You go to the next one. This is just like creating a product, basically. It's very simple. Um, just follow along just like you would with any other product. Enter your tracking codes if you have tracking codes, and whether or not you want affiliates to promote the upsell. So just like any other product. And that's it. So customize title to the download. Okay. Yes. Okay. And there's some stuff you're going to do when you actually set up the cart. And again, you can do some rules. Say they join a membership program, or they, I don't know, sign up for your workbook, but you have a lesson that goes with it and it ties in with a course. I don't know. You put in some rules if you want to. Anyways, so that's it for the upsells. You can do the same for downsells. And then, of course, you can add coupons if you want over here. All right, so we're going to create a funnel, and you'll have to enable it for the sample product I have here. Okay, so when customers purchase the upsells or downsells, what do you want to happen? Do you want it to display their invoice? Do you want to provide URLs after the purchase? So front end, display the invoice. Yeah, so in my main product, it's telling me that I have it displayed I told it just to display my invoice, not to actually send them to a URL. So you can enter URLs here. Turn off success nails. Okay. You can also provide, so just for the sake of this, to make it simple, let's just display their invoice. Again, I have a membership integration in my ThriveCart, so that's why this is here. So if I clicked on here, it would say, which ones do you want to actually add it to if they purchase through these. All right, turn off. You can add custom scripts as well. So personally, what you can do, so say someone goes to your page and they goes into your funnel and they want to purchase your product. Do you want them to be able to purchase it with one click, or do you want to confirm that they actually want to purchase it? Because people can accidentally click on it, because the no, I don't want this offer click is right below the button or whatever you set it as. So I like to show a confirmation step just to make sure, because I don't want to have to issue a bunch of refunds. All right, so now you select your upsells and your downsells. So you have to select an upsell. So say it's for the My Blog Workbook, which I know is the bump offer, but just bear with me. And whether or not you want to replace the purchase. So maybe this is, they bought a course from you and you want to upgrade them to a course bundle at a discount. So they would replace the sample product with this particular bump offer. So you got the package deal that's going to replace the other one. And then what you'll do is go into edit the upsell page, you launch the editor, and you'll edit this just like you did the other stuff. So when I was talking about the double opt-in, so you can drag in headings. Let's say we want to put here, and you want some text, and you can put in maybe an image. You can put some videos in here. Let's see, let's just grab one that's looks like a sales page. Anyways, this is just basically your sales page. Create a sales page, click on these, edit the colors, do whatever you want. So like I said, this is the little button they'll click to say, no, I don't want to purchase this from your funnel. And if they click on this, it's whether or not they actually get a confirmation before they actually purchase, is what that setting was for. All right, so just keep editing this. Make sure you update it to include the price of it, because it doesn't come to default. In this text right here says a total of $7 will be added to your order. That's it. So make sure that you're very, very clear on what they're getting, focus on the benefits, and put it in here. And then what you can do, so that's been saved. You can also enter a downsell. So say they don't want the My Blog Workbook, maybe they want my digital file organization, and whether or not it replaces something, and then you edit the downsell page just like that. So I only have one downsell or upsell, and I already have it up here. So you can enter up to 5. I don't know if that's a pro feature, if that's built into any of them, but enter them in here and then just click Save Sales Funnel. And that's it. That's it. This is the same exact code that you have on your site, so you can, or that you've already probably copied and pasted. So it is okay to go ahead and make edits to your funnels, to your cart, or anything like that. This is linked to the product, so this is product equals 9. So it's linking to the product. You can change the name, you can change whatever you want. Just the only thing I would say is when you're actually in the product, if you change the URL and you're doing a landing page, it will change the name. If you change this right here, and you have your checkout set to, say, a sales page or a standard page, that means that you're gonna have to go in and update your URL wherever it is. Okay, I think that's enough talking from me. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will be around for whatever you need. All right.